Namaskar. Today it's June 14th, 2026. Welcome to day 93 of Satvik Yogi Path. Each year on March 14 begins my 100 days journey in returning to the essence of yoga towards the celebration of International Day of Yoga on June 21st. This year I chose to revisit Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sūtra and share my daily practices inspired by it. Once again, welcome to the 93rd day of Satvik Yogi Path, which means exactly 7 days from now, we will be celebrating International Day of Yoga, which, by the way, also is the summer solstice. Today, we are going to learn and practice Yoga Sūtra 2.42 or the 42nd Yoga Sūtra from the second chapter, Sadhana Pad. And today, the Yoga Sūtra is about inner joy. It is the second niyam from the second limb of Aṣṭāṅga Yoga. So here is the Yoga Sūtra. Santosha uttam sukha labha. So let us once again learn to recite the 42nd Yoga Sūtra. Santoshad uttam sukha labha. So this aphorism, the 42nd Yoga Sutra, is made of couple of words, which we will eventually break it down word by word to better understand the Yoga Sutra. But what does it mean? It means that from contentment comes unsurpassed joy. So this sutra is about the unsurpassed inner joy. This is about the inner joy, Santosha. But that only comes from contentment, Santosha. So today we are exploring Santosha, the second niyam. Maharshi Patanjali says that when Santosha becomes steady, the contentment becomes steady, the highest joy arises. Not pleasure, not excitement, not temporary happiness. So the inner joy, the highest joy is not pleasure, not excitement, neither it is temporary happiness. So then what is the highest joy? What is it? But it is called anuttam. Anuttam sukha. A joy that does not depend on joy that does not become on condition. I have to take this call, so I'll quickly take this call. Hey, Babi, I have my yoga class going on, and I'll head. Okay, Baba, drive safe. Bye bye. Bye, Shun. I love you. Yeah, you have to take family call no matter what. So, what sort of joy is this? This joy is anuttam, which means the unsurpassed joy, the highest level of joy, which is not pleasure, which is not excitement. Excitement is not the highest level of joy, and it is not even temporary happiness. It is anuttam sukha, which means a joy, a happiness that is not dependent on any condition. It is the inner joy. And that's exactly what we are going to explore in today's Yoga Sutra. So, this is the heart of Santosh, contentment. Now, what Santosh really means? Santosh, which is the second niyam, there are five niyam in the second limb of Aṣṭāṅga Yoga, five limbs, five parts, five niyam. We have five niyam. I have celeb, arm, SW. So here's a shout out for you. Thank you so much for joining on the 93rd day. Can you believe it? It's the 93rd day of the 100 days of my yoga journey in celebrating International Day of Yoga. Exactly 7 days from today, which is next Sunday, which also happens to be the summer solstice, June 21st. So I am very thankful to you, Celeb Arm SW. Thank you so much for joining today. And we are talking about Yoga Sūtra, the aphorism by Maharshi Patanjali. From it's the traditional yoga, Aṣṭāṅga Yoga, that is based on. And today it's the second niyam, which is contentment. When the contentment is steady, arise unsurpassed joy, which is not a joy, a happiness that is not dependent on any conditions. Sometimes we say, oh, I'm so excited, but that's not the highest level of joy. Oh, it's my pleasure. That's not the highest level of joy. A joy, a happiness that is not dependent on any condition is the highest level of joy. That's the inner happiness, the inner joy. And that is the heart of contentment, Santosh. So, what is actually means? So, let us first try and understand what contentment is not. Then we will understand what contentment is, what Santosh is. So, Santosh is not resignation, passivity, pretending everything is fine. No, it is not. Suppressing desire. No, it it is not Santosh. It's not contentment. Or just giving up. No, that is not contentment. So then what is being in the state of contentment? Content. It is acceptance. It is sufficiency. It is inner ease. It is gratitude. It is being at peace with what is. It is not fighting the present moment. It is Santosh. Santosh is the quiet joy of enough. That is Santosh. So let us try to understand it a little more by this example from our daily life, which is the cup that is already full. Imagine you're holding a cup. Just imagine you're holding a cup. If you believe the cup is empty, you will keep searching, grasping, comparing, wanting. If you believe the cup is empty, you will keep searching, right? Grasping, comparing, wanting. But if you look closely and see, imagine you're holding a cup. If you look closely and see that the cup is already full. No, you're not pretending that it's full. that the cup is already full. You're just holding the cup. The cup is full of breath, life, full of this moment. So it is as is. Just the moment, a soft joy arise. So the happiness, which is not based on any condition, that oh, it does not have anything, I have to fill it up with something. But if you're holding the cup and you're looking at it and you already feel that it is full of life, breath, most importantly, the moment. Santosh is as is. The contentment as is. Nothing changed outside. The fullness was always there. Santosh is the recognition that the cup was never empty. Santosh is the, the joy that naturally arises because Santosh, contentment, is steady, as is acceptance. Let me share Swami Vivekananda's insight into this. Swami Vivekananda taught that contentment is strength, Santosh is strength. Contentment brings peace. Contentment frees the mind. Free. Just the mind becomes free. Contentment opens the heart. Swami Vivekananda said that true joy comes not from acquiring more, but from realizing the completeness of the self. And this is exactly what Maharshi Patanjali describes. So, in the Satvik Yogi Path, Santosh, contentment, means resting in the fullness of the moment. Joy does not come from adding, joy comes from allowing. So, let us get started with our stillness practice. Our practice, how we can apply Yoga Sūtra 42nd to today's moment. So, the first is that, first of all, we will be practicing contentment. That when it's steady, inner joy arises. And what is our sutra? Our sutra is Santoshad anuttam sukha labha. That's the sutra. So our step one is that we name the sutra intention. Today, this is how we do it. Today, we are practicing Yoga Sutra 2.42. Santosh, contentment, the art of resting in the fullness of the moment. Once we have named the sutra intention, we bring one real moment to mind. Think of one moment today where you felt lack of, where you felt lack or dissatisfaction. It could be wanting something to be different, or comparing yourself, or feeling behind, resisting the present moment, or just feeling incomplete. Did any one of these moments resonate with you? Well, there are a couple of things that happened with me. So I will choose wanting something to be different. So, my kid, today we were having our own mother and child time, and I was driving, and my kid was playing their own set of music. And I was expecting them to play my choice of music because my kid have saved or created a playlist for me. S- but here I was driving just to make me happy. Sometimes they do this, but they kept playing their own saw music from their playlist. And at a point I just wanted something to be different. And I was getting a bit, not frustrated, but not really, like in the happiest of my smiling with the smiling faces. And at that time, suddenly it came to my mind that after all, we are here. I was driving. I felt like saying that, hey, I'm the driver, so I get to choose my music. But I didn't do that because at that time, I just felt that these moments that I'm with my kid is very rare. It's becoming very rare these days because they are so busy in their own world. But they played the music, and they were sometimes also talking to me about the music. And I just just that thought brought me to the acceptance at work. And at that point of time, I just appreciated the present, the moment that we were enjoying the moment together. And and then after that, I was not bothered anymore. Rather, I felt much better. So wanting something to be different was my situation, my moment today. And of course, let me tell you, after a while, I suddenly noticed that the music was entirely changed, and the playlist that my kids have saved for me when I'm driving, they started to play that. So that is another story. But something that I wanted, and I was being bothered at that time, hence I chose this one. Something, wanting something to be different. Now let's see how we can apply the sutra in silence. Now, this I will place today's sutra on that moment, which I practiced. And I did I did go through this practice that as gently at that time when I was almost about to, like a typical mother who's actually driving and the kid is playing their own interest song music of their interest, which I was not interested initially. So I placed today's sutra on that moment, asking gently, what if this moment is enough? The moment was actually enough. The moment that we were together, we were going to some place together. And these moments are very rare to find these days, at least me with my kids. So that moment felt like, yes, it was enough. I'll quickly give a shout out to Lillian-X8R. Hi Lillian, thank you so much for joining on the 93rd day of my 100 days yoga journey in returning to the essence of yoga towards a celebration of International Day of Yoga on June 21st, exactly 7 days from today. And we are practicing Yoga Sūtra 2.42 from the second chapter, which is contentment, Santosha. So, some of the Santosh in action, contentment in action, softening expectations, which I did, appreciating what is here. And I was able to see that. I was able to appreciate the moment, that the rare happening of me and the kid, my kid, going out to just hang out like friends, I would say, or maybe not. But that moment was there. We were actually doing it. So appreciating what is here. Releasing comparison. Accepting the pace of life. Breathing into the present moment. Noticing small joys. Feel the quiet joy rising. So I actually used the sutra in the moment today. And then I was not getting bothered or feeling the frustration that my music was not being played and blah, blah, blah. So, using the sutra, but you have to follow the step that you have to ask yourself, what if this moment is enough? Acceptance. Now we seal with Om and then Bhavna. So let us chant Om, placing one hand over your navel gently, and we take a deep breath in and exhale with Om. Let's do it 3 times. Roll your shoulder if you have to, back and spine straight. Place one hand gently over your navel. Now take a deep breath in. Um, Take a deep breath in. And the last, take a deep breath in. And now you stay like this, and with the bhavna that this joy, this happiness does not have to depend on any condition, as is. and open your eyes. That concludes our stillness practice for today, day 93. And then I have a challenge for you like every day. So here's today's challenge. Pause once today and whisper to yourself. Just whisper to yourself. This moment is enough. Whisper to yourself. This moment is enough. That is all the challenge is. If you accept the challenge, if you can pause once today and just whisper to yourself that this moment is enough. Please write in the comment that you accept the challenge and you would notice the shift. Day 93 teaches us that joy is not something we chase. Joy is something we uncover. When we stop fighting the present moment. Lillian, thank you so much. I accept the challenge. Beautiful. You would just pause for once today and whisper to yourself that this moment is enough. Tomorrow we explore tapas, the third niyam, the niyam of disciplined effort, tapas, and the inner fire that transforms us. We may be able to, with the third niyam, we may be able to answer. Sometimes we are in a situation when we, or times we are in a situation when we don't feel motivated to do anything. That is that as if the inner fire is not there. So the third niyam, tapas, may be the answer. So we meet again tomorrow. Until then, stay warm, stay open, and most importantly, stay honest to your own story. I thank you all for your presence today on day 93.